In this video, we're looking at how to stand out in your industry. Standing out and differentiating can be really, really difficult. One of my personal sayings is being forgettable is expensive. You want people to see you, you want people to notice you, and you want people to know why they should choose you over the competition. But really, it comes down to just standing out in the first place. There's over 117 something different ways to differentiate from the competition. I'll link to all of those below, but we're going to look at three main strategies here in this video. The first one is to be known for one thing. You might do lots and lots of different things in your business, but can you be known for doing one thing exceptionally well? Because if you can stick in the mind of your buyer for that one thing when they need that one thing, you'll be streets ahead of your competition. Amazon are pretty much known for convenience, availability of products, etc., low prices, but it all kind of comes to convenience. So today I've ordered some stuff from Amazon, and it's literally turned up this evening. It is here. It's just mind-blowingly convenient. Amazon's known for convenience. Apple is known for design, of course. Yeah, they might be known for being technologically advanced and having cool stuff, etc., but it's the design. When you think of Apple, you think of their products, but you think of Steve Jobs and his presentations and how cool their products look. I use iPhones, Apple Macs, MacBooks, all this kind of stuff. I principally buy it, because it's well made, it's quality stuff, but it's the design. It's slick, it's intuitive. That's what they're known for. For me, with Clear Sales Message, I get sent this kind of stuff all the time. It's funny. This is a WhatsApp conversation with somebody. Look, they've seen a sign for some pub somewhere, and it says, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Great message. I thought of you. I often get people sending me stuff, people that know me, of course. They say, oh, that's a Clear Sales Message. That isn't a Clear Sales Message. But I'm known for messaging. I'm known for clearly, the people that know me anyway, I'm known for clearly explaining your offering, having a clear sales message. So people share stuff like that with me. Same here in the DMs on LinkedIn here. Clear sales message popped into my head. It makes you memorable. If you want to differentiate, you've got to be memorable. You've got to stand out in the mind of your buyer. You've got to be known for one thing. So the first question for you, and I hope you're taking notes, is what's that one thing that you're known for or could be known for, and how could you set out to really make that something and really hone in and focus on that? Because people forget that being memorable is a strategy like any other. It's not something we can leave to chance. It's a strategy like any other, and it is possible, and it's all part of differentiation. And like I say, 110, 17 plus ways to do it, link below so you can check all of those out. Second way to do it is to define and own the language. Now, I'm pretty sure this is more of a UK thing, so you have to bear with me. But in the UK, we call it doing the hoovering. But Hoover is a brand name. We're actually doing the vacuuming. Now, even though I have a Dyson, I don't call it doing the Dysoning, do I? I call it doing the hoovering because they own the language. And this is known as eponymy. So they are the name in the space for the thing that they do. So when you search for something, even if you're searching on somewhere else, you'll call it Googling, right? Because Google has become synonymous with search. So if you can own the language, and I was very, very lucky with my own business with Clear Sales Message, I picked this name because I liked it. It wasn't any more thought through than that. But over the years, I've realized that I own the term now. So how would you describe a message that a company's explained themselves really, really clearly? Well, Clear Sales Message is one of the best. I know I'm biased when I say this, of course. Please challenge me in the chat. But Clear Sales Message is one of the best, or if not the best way to say it. And that's why it's stuck with people. That's why I get messages from people saying, that's a Clear Sales Message. That isn't. I've given them the language to describe something where before they didn't really have the language to do it. And that's made me sticky, and that's made me easy to differentiate from the competition who maybe do, again, more than one thing, and they don't own the language. So can you focus on one thing? Can you own the language? And owning the language, I mean, that's a whole YouTube video in and of itself. But it comes down to things like actions and verbs, like doing the hoovering, Googling, FaceTiming, etc. How can we incorporate that into what you're doing? It could also be that people already call your product or service something, and we just attempt to own the language around it. So on my desk here, I've got a power bank. This is one of the cool power banks with the cables that are still in the back. No, I'm not on TikTok Shop. There's no yellow link. Don't worry. But if I owned powerbank.com, so if I owned the name for what that is, a power bank, then I'm owning the language. Because if you just guessed and went to powerbank.com and found me there, like, must be the company that does it. Same for water bottles, right? I'm just randomly picking things on my desk. If you owned waterbottle.com, for example. So one of the ways you can own the language is to promote and really kind of give new language to things, a bit like Clear Sales Message is now the term to define and explain something that's easy to understand, certainly in the circle of people that I know. But secondly, could you own the language, as in own the domain name? Could you buy it? I actually did this, great example. So when I explain what Clear Sales Message is and the deliverables, I talk about branding guidelines, these logos, these fonts, these colors. Most of us are very familiar with that. We either have it or we don't, doesn't matter, but we know what that is. I produce messaging guidelines, these words, terms, assets, and arguments. And I bought messagingguidelines.com for like 10 quid a year or whatever. So it cost me nothing. And I've not used it to date, but when I do use it, and we talk about messaging guidelines, well, I'm the owner of that, so I'm like the first mover or the leader in the space. I own the language. So I get really excited and talking quickly. Hope you're keeping up with me. How can you tell I love what I do for a living? Who knows? Third and final thing you can do is to have some kind of a signature. Now, Product Red is the best example of this that you can possibly think of. It's a charitable thing where they hooked up with Apple and American Express and all sorts of other brands, and each of those brands produced a literal red version. So it was a red coloured version of their offering where part of the money went to charity. So it was a signature thing. It was if you've got a red iPhone, it's instantly recognizable as Product Red because iPhones don't come in red otherwise. So it's instantly recognizable, which again does two things: helps you to differentiate, but also helps you to stand out and be more memorable, which is commercially speaking so valuable. Couple of other things you can do to have a signature. The next one, and it depends where you stand on emojis. Some people think they're okay, some people think they're wildly unprofessional, so you decide. But if you have a signature emoji, so I work with a company in the auditory space where they work with people and training their hearing, etc. So they use an ear emoji in what they're doing, which might seem overly obvious, but it helps people to shortcut and understand, and they will recognize, because we process images faster than we process text, but they'll recognize that brand in social media posts much quicker than if they didn't do it. And also, this company traded from a completely different domain name, but I suggested they bought trainyourhearing.com, because that's what they actually do. They help you to train your hearing, which goes back to that previous point about owning the name, owning the language in your space to stand out, be memorable, and give you a competitive advantage. The final thing you can do, and it's ironic because the name itself doesn't really matter so much. We don't have to worry about getting too clever here, but if you have a named process of working, that can help you to stand out and be more memorable. I worked with a bespoke kitchen company here in the UK, and their process of working, which was just called the PAD process because the company was called PAD, goes a little something like this. And I'll give you a side-by-side comparison. So if you're having your kitchen done, a new kitchen fitted, I'll come in and size it up. So if I'm from the competition, I'll probably turn around and say, well, how many cupboards have you got, and where's your plug sockets, and what do you want, and blah, blah, blah. And it's a little bit round the houses. Maybe there's some structure to it, maybe there isn't, but I don't know. It's not as simple as this, but of course I am biased because I created this, so bear with me. So that one is, cupboards, etc. PAD's one is, there's 4 things that we need to know to design the perfect kitchen for you. Lifestyle, space, taste, and budget. So lifestyle, tell us about your lifestyle. Do you have kids? Do you have pets? Do you drink wine? Do you entertain? Do you like to cook? Do you eat out a lot, etc.? A lifestyle. Space, that's actually the mechanics of the space and where everything is and where it can go. Lifestyle, space. Taste, what do you like? Let's talk about styles. And budget, how little money do you have to play with? But if I can give you a really easy to understand 4-step process, lifestyle, space, taste, and budget, versus, let's measure up and see, and it's a bit more around the houses, I'm definitely going to stand out. And arguably, I could be more expensive, and that level of detail will help to justify the price because you think you're getting a higher level of service because of my ability to articulate exactly what I'm doing for you. So if you want to stand out, if you want to get attention, be more memorable, you need to be known for one thing. You need to own the language and hopefully the domain names for what you're up to. And then you need to have some kind of a signature move, whether it's like a visual design cue, like everything is in red or something like that. It's a particular way that you do things. It could be that you use a signature emoji on social media to catch people's eye, or it could be that you have a signature process of working.